With Nigeria often regarded as the giant of Africa, it has the willpower to insist on levying duties on goods transiting into its territory through neighboring countries to curb smuggling. But many questions have arisen on the effects of the ban since August on goods imported through the land borders. The move has pushed up food prices and pummeled economies of neighboring Benin Republic. A visit to the popular Gariki Model Market in Abuja, Nigeria's capital, shows a market still bustling with activities. But some sections of the market seems to be suffering from the land border closure.
Most of our customers rely both our local.
Michael Ubona, a seller of second-hand clothes, says the land border closure has affected his business.
So border closure has affected us seriously. Understand? Mostly in the areas of customers are complaining the high exorbitant of price because the one that is available in the market is costly. Understand? They can't get it in a cheaper rent. Understand? Because it's no longer, you can't sit in a large quantity like before when the border was open. So it's affected us seriously. So to me, I'm urging Mr. President, to open the border. At least let the food items, let other materials, let other things be entered to Nigeria. It will be a beneficiary to both Nigerians and other other African countries.
Nigeria relies heavily on imports to feed its booming population of about 190 million people, but the government is striving to bolster domestic agriculture. This is part of efforts to diversify its economy and end years of over-dependence on oil. But Obioma Nkechukwu, who deals in different types of frozen food like chicken, turkey and fish, tells me local farmers don't have the capacity to supply enough food to feed the country.
We were thinking that it should be for a very short period, but it's taking long now. Things are so expensive. It's just a chain reaction. If you are used to be using like 2 million naira to go for market to stock your goods before, now you'll be looking for 5 million naira. And the patronage is not there. People don't have money. Times are hard. When you tell people the price, they will run away. They will think you are joking, but it's true. They will just run away. And we have poultry farmers, we have rice farmers. They can't meet up the demand. For the past 1 month, I've been calling farmers, poultry farmers, to give us Nigerian chicken. They will tell you, we will slaughter next week, we will slaughter this weekend. At the end of the day, you will not see them. So they too, they need money to expand their business. Nigerians, we are many in this country, and these people cannot satisfy the demand. They cannot meet all the demand. And that is why to augment Nigerian food, that is frozen food with foreign products, becomes imperative. You cannot just close the border like that and tell Nigerians to eat Nigerian chicken. Where is the chicken? We can't see any.
Hey mom, because of this border closing, so all these things now, the prices is high.
Promise Ogbemudia, who also deals in different types of frozen foods, says the border closure has more negative effect on the people.
We are seeing things that is very difficult for the common man. Even the Nigerian chicken we sell here, at least formerly before we were selling the price of 1,800 or 900, but now you can see since they closed the border, we're now selling 1,500 per 1 kilo. So we find it difficult, and they are not even enough. So I don't think that the closing of the border, I don't think that it's going to help we businessmen or we that sell fish. We don't have enough. It is when we have enough you can think of closing the border. Even though you want the border closed, like other countries, they empower business people, they empower farmers. But nobody is empowering us here. We are empowering ourselves. So it is better government should open the border. They look for another alternative that will help the common man.
How much is the budget?
800
That's the
naira.
last 1.5.
Please, now, okay, reduce something for me. Give me for 1,000.
I can't say I bought at 14.5.
Bimpe Ademola, a caterer, could not purchase frozen food items she intended to buy because she says they are too expensive.
Like now, we are selling plate of food for maybe 300 or 400, and they will tell me that I should put chicken inside that food for 300. So I budget at least I will buy chicken at the rate of 800 naira, so that me too I will have my own profit inside. But I come to the market today and discover that chicken is 1,500. Even for us to even see how our own money that we used to buy that is problem. Talk about to get profit inside. So the business is not moving at all. Somebody that's supposed to come to market, maybe and buy one bag of rice for 15,000 or 18,000. But when he comes to the market now, he buy just a mudu of rice, 800 naira. Even the local rice, they say that Nigeria have rice, we have local rice. Even the local rice now in the market is very expensive. Even the poor one cannot even afford the local rice. To buy local rice, they cannot even afford it.
A representative of the government on different platforms announced that the land borders will remain closed pending when Republic of Benin and other neighboring countries stop taking Nigeria for a smuggling destination.
The border closure has impacted positively on the revenue generation of the federal government, which in turn will be used to build more infrastructure and develop critical sectors of the nation's economy. It's important to note that since this exercise started, the monthly import revenue has increased by over 15% instead of dropping as expected in many countries, which states that the ETS concession will be for goods manufactured within the ECOWAS territory has been grossly abused, as goods imported into ECOWAS through these countries from foreign countries come into Nigeria as if they were produced or manufactured within ECOWAS territory.
The spokesperson of the Nigeria Customs Service said the agency rakes in between 4.7 to 5.8 billion naira daily, a figure far higher than the amounts the agency generated before the closure. Body Director General of the Nigeria Employers Consultative Association (NECA), Timothy Olawale, says the blockade is having ripple effects across West Africa, with factories and traders struggling to import raw materials through alternative routes.
They bring in goods through illegal routes. They evade payments of tariff and whatever rates they are supposed to pay, which is adversely affecting the economy of Nigeria. And on top of that, they are conduit pipes for foreign countries to smuggle goods and dump those goods in Nigeria, which also makes our businesses uncompetitive and factories uncompetitive. When you look at it from that point of view, you also know that yes, there is the need for government to react and do something to arrest those negative trends. But having said that, you have to look at the flip side. Closure of border ordinarily shouldn't be the solution. What the solution should be is for us to strengthen our institutions to be able to perform the role for which they are set up. For instance, the Customs Service is responsible for policing our borders. The question is that government should have asked is, why is it that we have a fledgling customs service that's supposed to perform the role of policing our borders, yet they are ineffective in arresting those nefarious activities? Why is it that they cannot enforce those protocols? Why is it that despite their presence along our border lines, there are still thriving businesses of smuggling? And these are what government should have addressed rather than closing the border.
Majority of those people that produce mattresses, they sell to foreign countries like Niger, Republic of Benin, even up to Ghana. Then those that even produce tank, the GPs, the VPs, they were complaining bitterly. Because if you go to the store now, I can take you down there, everywhere is full of the products. Closing the border, yeah, the federal government have really tried. They restricted some products to enter into the country, but they should please monitor it very well so that there are some products that needs to go out, the one that are supposed to come in.
Unilateral border closure goes against trade and freedom of movement treaties signed under the Economic Community of West Africa's state ECOWAS. The border closure has also cast a shadow over a historic Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement signed by 54 out of 55 African countries. With a combined GDP of $2.4 trillion and a total population of 1.2 billion people, the agreement is capable of creating the world's largest free trade area. It aims to promote intra-Africa trade, which is abysmally low, and push the continent towards ending trade barriers. Ahmed Abbas, a lawyer in Nigeria, is of the view that Nigeria has not broken any free trade agreement.
The ECOWAS protocol of free movement of goods did not envisage using Nigeria as a dumping ground. And Nigeria has a right to close its border when its neighboring, the neighboring countries are actually not playing by the rules. You see, most of the surrounding countries like Benin Republic, for example, the rice they import, it's not as if they are grown locally in Benin Republic. Benin Republic is simply a conduit country, a conduit pipe for imported goods to flow into Nigeria. The essence of the border closure is, one, to protect our local industry. See, you can't grow industrially when you are a dumping ground for manufactured goods from all parts of the world. It will discourage your local manufacturers because their goods might not be able to compete favorably with imported goods that have cheap infrastructure, access to cheap credit, where they have access to electricity. So when you import those goods and people are price sensitive, if a bag of imported rice is 18,000 naira and you are selling your locally made rice for even 22,000 naira, let me say 18,000 to 22,000, that's about how many? 4,000 naira difference. Even 2,000 naira difference will make a lot of difference in the purchasing choices of people. So the government that is sensitive will not allow its local production, manufacturing sector to die in the name of trying to be a big brother. And secondly, we all in this country were asking questions as to how come that light weapons were finding its way into the country, where people coming into the country kill and maim and find their way out of the country. The question we were all asking is, how were these weapons finding their way into the country? But are you aware that in the past few months and all the rest of them, the issue of killing, the issue of terrorists, the issue of bandits and all the rest of them is reducing gradually because the borders were extremely very porous initially. All manner of weapons were finding their way from West African countries into Nigeria. And so no sane country will sit down, no responsible president will sit down and allow such to continue.
One thing is clear, the federal government and relevant agencies are resolute that the borders will remain closed until set objectives are achieved. Benin, with a population of 11 million people and its economy is hinged on trade with Nigeria. But it is not the only country affected. The likes of Niger, Cameroon, Togo and others are also reeling from the effects of the policy. The rate of youth unemployment in Africa is expected to exceed 30% this year, and young people will continue to be 3.5 times more likely than adults to be unemployed. In addition, there is a very high share of insecurity employment, constituting of almost 90% of total employment in Africa. At 94.9%, insecure employment is the main source of employment for African youth. With these economic indices, many believe that the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement will help the continent harness its potential.